Okay, part two. So we're moving on to the fight, and both of us square up with each other. So the first thing I do is I go to sense her power, and I pick up something immediately. Just sensing her power completely opens up the way I even see power and energy and everything. So in three important ways that I can tell, there's such a difference between me and this woman. So first thing is that the power levels. There's an immense difference. If I'm a pond, DMs, we love, using water to denote power. So if I'm a pond, as far as I can sense of her, she's at least an ocean, and that's really just that's really just getting into what I can sense. Maybe she's an entire ocean world, but yeah, it's a pond versus at least an ocean. Her power is vastly more immense than mine. Then, if there another comparison as to the difference is where if my power is like a piece of iron, just a raw, just undeveloped piece of iron. Hers is like a finely crafted sword. Another difference is, if my energy is oil, hers is like jet fuel. So what we're learning here is that her power is like far greater than mine. Like it's more of it. It's more refined. That's the sword thing, and then it's more potent. You can get more out of it. So she just has me in every conceivable way as far as power goes. But the interesting thing was the sword comparison and the jet fuel one. I didn't really look at power like that. I didn't understand that. I really just looked at like, is your power bigger than mine or smaller than mine? Excuse me. So I do also use sense expression to kind of get a better idea of the type of her power, and it really doesn't give me much more. Her power is really in a passive state. So I guess if she was doing something very specific, like if she was sense expression is a little bit more for like like let's say somebody develops a specific technique. I can use sense expression to see what does that technique do. But just if somebody's just standing there with the power around them, it helps, but it's not as useful as if they're doing a technique. So we're probably talking the difference between us is like something like a Super Saiyan to a SS2. Now, mind you, that's not to say I'm as powerful as a Super Saiyan or she's as strong as an SS2. I don't even know if the characters like that exist, but um, the difference is there. So we get into the fight. So the first thing that I try to do. Oh, she did also say that her fight with Hector was to prove a point. I think Hector underestimated her and it was kind of thinking that she wouldn't be up to the task of teaching us, and her fight with me would be more educational for her. So the fight starts, and I immediately go for Omega Flare. So what Omega Flare does is it basically, if there's a difference in power, it balances it out. You really want to use it if you can against stronger opponents. Bring them down there, you up there, so you can fight on an even level. So that was the first thing. I was like, well, maybe I could do this, and for this one fight, be stronger than I've ever been before. My power extends to do Omega Flare. Her power just kind of interacts with my power, just kind of rips it off. I've never even sensed anything like that before. It's like, okay, she she develops this technique called Nessa Wax, and it's kind of like a Kamehameha. And when she fires it, it's about like a 30-foot diameter, and it's coming incredibly fast. I try to move, it moves to intercept me. I can't go back because it's coming too fast. So I develop a defensive aura around myself, one that's kind of like almost like energy armor, and I try to kind of maneuver, swim around it to see if I can get to her. It hits me, rockets me up in the air, and by the time I can get off of it, I'm in low orbit, struggling to breathe and wondering what the hell just happened. And then I rocket my ass back down to the ground. New video.